If you're looking for an absolute masterclass in bleeding-edge cyber forensics, mind-bending psychological twists, and a pulse-pounding, deeply personal Hunter Becomes the Hunted procedural, you need to clear your calendar for Jeffery Deaver and Isabella Maldonado. We are stepping directly back into the hyper-analytical, high-velocity investigative perimeter of Southern California's specialized I-squared unit with The Grave Artist, a spectacular, high-gear, and beautifully executed sophomore installment that proves this powerhouse co-author pairing is an elite vanguard in modern crime fiction. Let's lay out the strategic narrative grid. If you are a fan of stories where a meticulous serial predator stages horrific crimes to look like tragic accidents, where an operational team combining deep police street smarts with elite hacker tradecraft must outmaneuver an omnipresent threat, and where the authors utilize flawless, authentic law enforcement realism to build a desperate counteroffensive, this book is engineered to lock you in. Deaver and Maldonado completely dominate the high-tech cat-and-mouse dynamic, capturing the heart-racing momentum and forensic chess matches popularized by Lincoln Rhyme, Criminal Minds, and Michael Connelly, while treating cybersecurity, domestic microthreats, and the raw anatomy of human grief with exquisite care. The narrative tracking grid welcomes back our sovereign investigative duo, Homeland Security Investigations, HSI, Special Agent Carmen Sanchez, and her brilliant civilian partner, academic security expert Jake Heron. Operating out of their lean, specialized task force designed to intercept homegrown anomalies, their dynamic is top tier. Carmen delivers the no-nonsense tactical experience and operational grit of a seasoned investigator, while Jake brings mad computer skills and an instinctual distrust of government metadata grids. They have barely settled their defensive perimeters from their previous case when a devastating new anomaly breaches the Hollywood Hills. The spark ignites at the close of an idyllic wedding reception when the blissful day is shattered by the sudden, violent death of one of the newlyweds. While local authorities initially evaluate the tragedy as an unfortunate accident, Carmen and Jake's analytical diagnostic routines detect a disturbing pattern. Digging into localized databases, they uncover a calculation-heavy trend. This is the third identical death in a hidden series of newlyweds. They are tracking a highly intelligent, intensely sadistic serial predator dubbed the honeymoon killer, a monster whose true artistic medium isn't the physical murder itself, but the macabre masterpiece he constructs afterward by watching, recording, and reveling in the psychological destruction of the surviving spouse. The tactical parameters take an incredibly hostile turn when the killer realizes he is being actively hunted. Instead of retreating behind his cloaking protocols, his dark obsession shifts focus directly onto the I-squared team. The honeymoon killer targets Carmen and Jake as his ultimate canvas, designing a calculation-heavy game where the objective is simple: execute one partner with surgical precision and take pure delight as the remaining survivor completely crumbles. With their internal security compromised and a parallel political campaign threatening to dissolve their task force from the top down, the duo must mount a high-stakes counteroffensive. What follows is an exceptional, high-stakes war of logistical perspective and raw survival. The forced proximity reality of the investigation turns Southern California into a volatile psychological pressure cooker. To survive the overarching trap, Jake must deploy elite counter-hacking arrays to trace an enemy who blends seamlessly into the digital background, while Carmen forces her way through a parallel narrative front, uncovering a cold case involving her own father's death with the help of her sister, Selena. It is a cyber thriller, police procedural, serial killer noir, psychological suspense masterpiece that treats digital tracking, behavioral profiling, and tactical combat with elite precision. The tension here burns with a sharp calculation-heavy intensity. We are talking about that high-frequency, he is inside our network energy, where an unexpected data spike on a server, a subtle discrepancy in a forensics log, or a shadow moving across a stakeout perimeter carries massive structural weight. The brilliant creative synthesis between Deaver's legendary signature cliffhangers and Maldonado's real-world FBI National Academy tradecraft is a masterstroke. The authors write with an exceptionally fresh, vivid, and beautifully blunt voice, perfectly capturing the clinical hum of a cyber lab, the claustrophobic panic of being targeted in your own home, and the distinct, subtle scent of ozone, burnt circuitry, and pure, unadulterated tension. What truly elevates this milestone continuation into elite territory is the author's unmatched ability to write realistic investigative warfare alongside profound character growth. Carmen and Jake aren't static assets. Their internal vulnerabilities, distinct worldview friction, and deep mutual loyalty match the complexity of the psychological trap they are fighting step for step, making their race against the clock feel profoundly authentic and deeply gripping.
The pacing moves with calculated momentum, tracking intense server-side battles and breathtaking physical misdirections, before ratcheting up to an absolute jaw-dropping final confrontation that delivers total, hard-earned retribution. The Grave Artist is the definitive, pro-level upgrade your technological suspense and hard-boiled crime library demands right now. It is elegant, immensely fast-paced, and utterly unput-outable. It proves that in a world where your entire life is mapped out in the cloud, the most terrifying predator is the one who knows exactly how to weaponize your data against your heart. So, secure your personal reading sanctuary, review your firewall parameters, open your Kindle, and prepare for the hunt.